And I ain't gonna fuck with my setup too much. I'm just gonna read my shit off and explain to you how I got it there, and then you'll understand it. All right, I'll go to my setup that I don't have in, and we'll just work on it together real quick. It won't take 10 minutes to build it. Y'all just let me know when y'all are all in. Alright, so let's start out 6, 7, or 8. So we'll start right in the middle, which is 7s. Alright. Yep. Is everybody in?
Yep.
Alright. So first, we'll go in order here so it makes a lot of sense. But we'll start with 7s on our shocks. Remember, you want to start off with 6, 7s, or 8s. And then our springs. Do what? Alright.
Yeah, you just you start them out. Your build on your setup when you're starting to build, you start them out one of them 3.
6, 7s, or 8s. You don't want to be at 3s and 4s. What happens when you run 3s and 4s? You got to run a lower front sway bar, and with a lower front sway bar, you're going to start breaking loose. So, like you'll see with this setup I'm about to give you, that it runs exactly the same from the start to the finish. There's no difference in the car.
Yeah, that's the way I land.
Yep, all the shocks are at 7s. We'll start right in the middle. And this is a base setup that I'm giving you here. I don't know what my setup said. I went to my other screen. So we're gonna all feel the same thing, and then I'm gonna show you how to adjust it. So we'll start at 7s, and then our springs want to max them all out, 1200, 600. Y'all just let me know when y'all get that. And the next thing we'll go to is the tire pressure. We're going to start out. You want to run anywhere between 20 and 22 on the lefts and 58 to 60s on the right. So for this one, we'll just start out at let's start out at 2160.
What'd you say you started them out at on the left?
20 to 22 on like a track like this.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to Iowa or somewhere like that, just go a little bit higher than what they've got. They probably got like 14 or 13s and like 40s. You can just go up to like 45s and 13s would be fine. But track like this, 20 to 22 and then 58 to 60 on the right. So we'll start out here. Let's do 2160. Y'all just let me know when y'all are good. Is everybody good? Alright, so miscellaneous settings on the far right. On the top camber, you always want to be between a 4 and a 4.5. So for this track, we'll try a 4 first. And then on the right front camber, you want to be between a -1 and a -3.5. So the more banking there is, so there's a lot of banking on like this track and Atlanta and stuff like that. You want to be like a 4 and a -1. That's what we'll go with here. But if you're running the track where you're running the high side, or you got a little bit less banking, like like Kentucky, Iowa, stuff like that, bring that negative down. So, or I guess it'd be, bring it down. So it'd be negative like 2.5 or 3.5. You want to bring that gap closer. 4.0 and -1.0. That's gonna be your go-to on all these big tracks. Now, if you get into a setup like where you got Charlotte, 2 complete different corners, this will still work. You just gonna have to play with your track bar and figure out where it's comfortable for you. Like if you're getting loose coming out of the turn, you want to take that track bar down. So like, just remember, start them off even, but then don't be scared to bring both of them down together, and then if you're braking a little bit loose coming out, just drop that right track bar down like maybe one less than the top one. The sway bar. Let's try 1.675. And then we're going to do 15 on the track bars. Yeah, so right now we got 7s on the shocks, 1200, 600, 2160, 2160, 4.0, negative 1.0, 1.675, 15 on the track bars. And then I usually run my brake bias about 75 to 76. I'm going to do 75 here. And then grill tape's always 50. And then the wheel, go ahead. Go ahead. The wheel lock that I always run at every track, except for like Martinsville, is an 8 on the wheel lock and a .100 on the steer offset. What that does, it frees up the wheel from left to right. It's pretty much, it drives completely straight going down the straightaway. Yes, sir. Yeah, it'll all explain itself as we go on. Well, that's not the first move we'd make. The first move we're going to make, we're going to put this stock setup in here that I'm giving you, which is like 6 7s or 8s on the shocks, 1200, 600, 20 to 22, 60, 58, somewhere in there, and then 4, negative 1. And then you can start the sway bar wherever you want to with those settings. But, we're going to see here in a minute. We're going to work our way through this. So, the gearing, what's the stock gearing? Does anybody have the stock gearing in front of them?
3.1, I think.
All right, let's run, put these gears in. 260, 160, 110, and then a 294. Now, if you don't, like, these are gears that I've played with a little bit that I just gave you, but like if you just have stock gearing, just go 2 clicks down on that rear end ratio and you'll be about right. Now you can see by looking at your gearing here, this is going to be a 3-gear setup. But if you need a 4th gear to save a little fuel, or you're getting a like 3-4 car draft, you can put it in 4th gear and just chill. And then the last thing we got to do is our weight settings. 54.2 on the left weight, and then always start out at 52.5 on the front weight. What that means? And then I always start out at 53 on the wedge, and then 4.0, 4.0 on the ride height. And let me know when y'all all get done with that.
What did you say you start on the wedge again? 53.
Yeah, and y'all take a picture of this before you go to the track real quick. Don't back out, just do a test session, because this is not going to be like perfect. This could be super loose or super tight, I don't know. But this is, just take a picture of this. You can put this setup right here in, except for the gearing, at every track, and it's going to be a good starting point for you. I don't care where you're at.
52.1 on your front weight and 53 wedge?
52.5 on the front weight and 53 on the wedge.
Okay.
And when everybody gets ready, let's go to the track, and everybody give me your opinion of what the car's doing. It's probably going to be a little tight or a little loose, so we'll see.
Mine won't go.
You're clear of pit road.
Won't go.
I'm just kidding.
You'll feel it right off the get-go. You'll be like, what the fuck? That's fast as fuck. And it's about damn perfect. I don't know what... Man, this might be better than the setup I got. Hey, that's pretty
Mine
good.
feels just a little loose. First turn, through the middle of the turn.
Everybody holler off what time you're hitting. You can drive it in there and just let off a little bit, just burp it, just a touch. I mean, mine feels absolutely fucking perfect. I'm hitting 30 flats.
We get another good left. I hit a 30.3.
What are you, a dog?
I just did 30.2.
Like when I burped the gas and let off, it like the ass end was to kick around. But
yeah, you shouldn't be letting off the gas hardly at all.
Yeah, I just let it off just for a second. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, you
off and back
can
on.
about hold it down all the way. But I mean, just depending on everybody's how you drive, it's going to be a little bit different. But we'll get it pretty close for everybody real quick. I'm hitting 29 nines. But if you want to go, if you're getting a little loose, just whoever's getting a little loose, go back. Like, I don't want to change shit. I'll run this setup right here. This is faster than my other setup I had here. But if you're getting a little loose, go up on the sway bar. Go up on the sway bar one click.
Okay. I'm gonna run it a few more laps. So.
Kind of worked out too perfect. I didn't want it to be that perfect. I wanted it to be super fucking loose when we got out there, but before we get done, I'll get everybody to put it on like a 1.5 way bar, and I'll show you what you'll probably see when you get another track. You ain't in the right line then.
Yeah, I got a 30.2 and a 30.1.
Yeah, 30.1's fast. Good. Yo. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I'll set a lobby up here in a minute. Yeah, if you go up on the sway bar a little bit, you'll feel the difference. It's a little bit more stable. Same speed. Oh, it's gonna be perfect. It ain't gonna change. It's gonna do exactly the same.
My rear tires were burning off a little bit, just like there's like 5% difference. I got it on 4 times wear.
They'll even out. Yeah, that's what I got it on 4 times.
Okay.
I actually like the sway bar up one. I ran a 29.918. Pretty damn fast.
Hey, get back in there. Let's go.
Yeah, that's good. That's what you want. You have to be careful with that, though. It get loose in the long run, probably. We're gonna be out there fucking. Y'all, I guarantee y'all will whoop people's asses here now.
What are you changing the base setup for short track versus what you did here?
It's the same, it's just the gear and the campers, that's it. Like if y'all want to go to build a short track real quick and then we'll go run both of them.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah, now it's not quite.
I really like this. I really like the 1.775 sway bar. That shit's fucking nice.
Yeah, it feels a lot better. It's just a tad loose, but that's about what you want.
If it's a tad loose, go down 2 clicks on your track bar and give it a run. Or take your wedge up to 53.5. Either one. I would go wedge before I went track bar. The track bar is where you get the speed. Just bump your wedge up just a touch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep mine the setup I gave y'all with the 1.775.
Yeah, I probably will. The tires are burning even now. So it felt a little better.
If the front's tight, Tyler, you probably can go down on your sway bar a little bit. You're pretty damn quick.
When I let off the gas, it it like bites. You can really feel it turning the left.
Yeah.
That's when I feel like the looseness.
With the wedge as high as it is, over the long run, the car's going to get maybe like a little bit looser than it is, but it's going to stay about the same.
Here.
Not bad. Fast. Still fast. The draft, you can stay with everybody. Like right now, I just went down to the 1.5 sway bar. It's definitely quicker, but I don't know how it's going to be on the long run. And that's how you do it. Like if you got I don't like that sway bar. I'm getting loose and shit. But that's how you do like with these setups here. If you run this stock shit, you're going to be hitting the same time starting out that you would be on a qualifying setup, and it's only going to drop off about a second.
Yeah.
But if you want to run a qualifying setup with this, all you got to do is make the exact same setup and drop your sway bar down to where you want it.
Does raising the cambers way up help your speed any? You know, for qualifying?
No, a little bit. Not much. I wouldn't fuck with them. 4.0 to -1, negative. I usually stay 4.0 and then just take that bottom one up depending on the track I'm at.
Yeah.
What's another track y'all like to run? Y'all like Atlanta?
Yeah.
Let me give y'all my Atlanta setup. Alright, I'll give you my exact setup. Y'all want back out of here. We'll run Atlanta and Chicagoland. Like Atlanta, you don't have to lift at all. You just hold it down and then make sure you turn in a little bit to 1 and 2 and just burp it. But you can hold it down if you just turn it harder. Everybody let me know when you're at Atlanta. Makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that base setup I gave you, that shit works pretty much everywhere. Besides adjusting a little here and a little there. Yeah, let me know when y'all at Atlanta.
I'm gonna try to put one in without you telling anything. And
Just
see
try
what
this
we
one.
do.
This one's fast as fuck. This is the same exact setup I just gave you, except for it's got a little bit changing. You'll see the changes when I give it to you. You'll be like, okay, I understand. You know, he didn't change much, but I see where he did adjust to get it to where it's at.
Right.
Yeah. And most of the times on the shocks, I'll stay consistent with, you know, a 6, 7, or 8. But like for my Atlanta, I'm running 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7.
Yeah, see, I do 4, 5.
It just slows that rebound down just a little bit. Yeah, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7. On the shocks. Y'all let me know when y'all got it in.
Put my damn springs up.
Yeah, one of the biggest aggravating things I always thought about making a setup was trying to figure out where I need my springs. Putting them at 1200, 600 changes all that. It's fucking the simplest part of my setups now. I know where they're at, and I'm gonna leave them there. Fuck it. Yep. Yep. All the tracks, except for the road courses. Yep. That never changes. I don't care what tracks it's at. Even Martinsville, I run my shit 1200, 600. There's no give in the car. All you gotta do is worry about driving it. Tire's 2260. So right now we got 8787 all the way down, 1200, 600, 2260. And like the cameras here, I went on a 3.8 and a negative 1.5. So I started at a 4.0 negative 1 and I changed it to a 3.8 negative 1.5, just sitting there playing with it for hours to get it to where it sits right. Yeah, 3.8 and negative 1.5. Yeah, it's pretty much the same as the setup I just gave you. And then the sway bar is at 1.7 on this one. Yeah, 15's all the way across the board on track bars. .7. Yep. Brakes at 75, grill tape 50. Actually, go grill tape 45 on this one. I had to come down a little bit with that 110 gear run. I mean, you'll see, if y'all ain't noticed it, it's pretty much the same setup, but you can see where I adjusted just a little bit. Like, that's the little tiny adjustments that make a huge change in the car. But it's not much. I mean, you can sit there and tinker with it here and there just a little bit, and you'll feel like, oh, well, I'm getting a little loose coming here. I'll change this a little bit. And another thing is, if you're getting wheel locks at 8, steering offset 0.100, the higher wheel lock you have, the more movement you turn you'll have in the wheel. Yeah. And then there's your steering offset. The higher you go from 0.100 up, it's gonna start. It's only in the straightaways where you'll feel the steering offset, pretty much, or coming out of the corner. But like if you go to 1.5, you're gonna be a little bit offset to the right, coming out, like going down the straightaway. And then the same thing to the left. You go down, it's gonna be a little bit cockeyed. Like if you put a 2 on there, your wheel will literally be fucking crooked going down the back stretch to hold the car straight. 8 and a 0.100, but all that's preference. Like if you're running a controller, I don't know what to put it on, but it would be a little bit different to probably help you out. Like a lot of people run like a 2 wheel lock at Atlanta, but I like the 8 and the 0.100 everywhere just because it's the same car. I like getting in the same car at every fucking track. I know the hell what it's gonna do, you know. 265, 155, 110, and a 294. And I ran this setup right here against Pro Leaguers tonight, and it did fucking great. I got third, so 265, 155, 110, and a 294 on the rear end. And then your front weight settings are 54.2. And then your front, you know, I told you earlier, 52.5. Here I backed it down on the front weight just to save a little bit of the tires. So I went down to a 52 on the front weight. And if y'all hadn't noticed this on your custom setups, you want your left front, your right front, and your right rear to all to wear exactly the same. If you can get those to wear exactly the same, that's where you know you got a good long run setup, because they're all going to be even and you're going to wear your tires down to damn near nothing before you have to pit. And then on the wedge, do what?
Possible to fix it.
No, yeah, the wedge is 54.3 on this one. .52 even.
What that means is,
and how I got the wedge to be 54.3 was I tried to go up on that sway bar, but going up on that sway bar on this track started to get me a little shake in the car no matter what I did. So what I did is I backed the sway bar down and just increased the wedge to get it to where I wanted to hold on the track. And then the ride heights are both 4.0. And y'all let me know when you got it all in. We'll all hit the track at the same time. Let me run through exactly what I got real quick, make sure everybody's up for. We got 8.7s on the shocks. Everybody good on that? Springs 1200, 600. 2260s on the tires. 3.8, negative 1.5. 1.7. 15, 15, 75, 45, 8.100. Geared 265, 155, 110, 294. Front weight 54.2, 52, 54.3, 44. Somebody's out there racing that motherfucker now. I can hear him. How's it feel? Yo. You can't change fourth gear. You can change third gear. No, Heat 4, you can change fourth gear. On this one, you can. But like this is a 3-gear setup. And you'll notice it's kind of hard to hit the apron with this. I got it like that so you don't hit the apron. Should be hitting 29 zeros, 29 ones, somewhere in there. You can hit 28 nines to get a really good lap. Just turn that motherfucker, it ain't going nowhere. You can hold it wide down. I mean, the more you run this setup, the faster you're gonna get. Going in 1 and 2, you can hold it wide open. You just got to get that high arc out of the corner and then pull it in, or either just go in low and let off a little bit. This thing will run right against that yellow line. Like you can almost turn it as hard as you can, and you're not gonna hit that yellow line. You can run it straight to the fucking bottom, and that's how you win at Atlanta, is keeping that bottom line. So a lot of guys you'll see the wash up in 3 and 4. This one you can hold that, you just hold it down there, and you'll make some mistakes. I mean, we all do. New setup, shit. Hold the gas down and fucking turn. You're good. And I mean, y'all. That's Atlanta for you. All right, y'all ready to run? Anybody got any problems? Have any issues with that one? Yep. I mean, y'all got my Atlanta setup that I run, and then y'all got my Chicago in that I built with y'all. That's faster tan the one I was running, so now I got it as my main setup. The one, how long did it take us to build it? What, 5 minutes? That was straight off the hip. I mean, it's pretty much the same for every single track. You might have to mess with the track bars a little bit just to get them to where you want them, but I mean, if you put that setup in and then adjust it with a little bit of knowledge on how to change shit, you're good. Now in the race with this setup here, I like to go down. I keep them at 2260 because the first run, it's really good tire wear, but I will drop that down to 21 or 2060 to get a little bit pull off the corner in a race. I'm gonna set a lobby up and go around real quick. Run 7 times 4, Chicagoland and then Atlanta. And you'll notice that some people will wear tires out faster than others, and you really see it when you all run the same setup. Oh yeah, it's good. It's strong. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna make a lobby real quick. Tyler, you gonna like running custom setup. It's fucking fun, dude. Especially when you get in there racing with them. They're awesome. See, when you get your wedge down, what happens is over the run, the car loosens up, and there's not enough wedge in there to counteract that. So what happens is you really notice a drop off in not necessarily your times, but your steering over the long run. Like the two cars that we just built, you'll notice when we do the race in a minute, you're like, damn, dude, it's the same fucking car the whole time. Which is yeah.
I gotta get off, but I appreciate it.
So he jumps me in right too. Who else are waiting on? Anybody not in here? I just sent them out. Should have one in the notification. Oh, you good, dude? We're running land in Chicagoland. Be fun. And dude, the reason I hadn't put these on YouTube is I don't want to give these to everybody, because if there's some motherfuckers that can't drive and you give them too fast setups, they'll be out here wrecking everybody. Yeah.